So Adrian, it's been a brilliant time. I've been down to the club a few times since that terrific Hartlepool game, and obviously been down there a couple of times this week. And there's a hive of activity with obviously the pitch, turnstiles, and grandstand conversations going on, which I'd love to hear more about. And of course momentous occasions this week on Monday with the pitch being dug up, and Tuesday we're going to talk about this further, season ticket sales. So how's it been going for you?
Well, an extraordinary time, Phil, and thanks for taking the time today. I hope, first of all, that everyone is still basking in the glory of the events of last Sunday week. I know for certain that I am. Matt, Jason, the rest of the management team and our superb squad of players have made everyone connected with Sutton United immensely proud. It really has been such a fantastic achievement when you consider difficulties we've had this season and the clubs that we've been up against for ostensibly a part-time squad. It's just a huge achievement for everyone associated with the club. And of course, after the celebrations immediately after that match against Hartlepool, unforgettable, history-making stuff, the hard work really begins. And I thought it'd be a good idea for us just to bring supporters up to date with what's going on off the pitch and the plans for the summer, because there is an immense amount of work to do. But happily, as a consequence of winning the league a week earlier than the end of the regular season, it has enabled us to press the green button on a number of projects that little bit earlier than we otherwise would have done. And it's been particularly difficult because we've obviously had to put a lot of things in train, sort of in the background, to put into action without knowing whether we were going to win the league. And that's quite a difficult thing, actually, to have all that going on in the background and not knowing whether you're going to be able to affect it or not. And when that happened, it obviously took a huge weight off a lot of people's shoulders. We had a lot of the contracts already in place with all the suppliers that you've just been referring to. And I thought it might be quite good if we had just spent 5 minutes just bringing people up to date with regards to what's going to happen and when over the next period, starting with the pitch, if you like. How about the pitch, Phil? Should we kick off with that one?
Yes, please. Looks amazing.
So, lots documented about the pitch and the rights and wrongs of it all, but let's not go over old ground there. We know what we have to do there. We knew we had to take up our lovely 3G surface. EFL don't allow it, and so we have to put down a grass pitch. We had a number of different options put in front of us. We debated it long and hard. Your board has been meeting weekly since the beginning of the pandemic last March, and has continued to do so. And if anything, it's grown apace, because the last few meetings have lasted several hours on a Thursday evening rather than just the one or two. We're delighted with the pitch contractor we've chosen. It's a company called AgriPower. Very, very impressive presentations, great product. And the collaboration with the guys at AgriPower since we've been able to press the green button has been superb throughout. You'll know, actually, Phil, because you're heavily involved with this, that the first thing that happened on Monday morning, they came in at 8 o'clock with the heavy vehicles to start the process going. They were very supportive of our request to dig up various iconic parts of it for us to keep.
Absolutely.
And tomorrow, and I know that you're leading this, we're going to be auctioning off some of those, about 25, 30 lots, I think it is. So there are a couple of them that we're going to keep in the bar for memorabilia's sake. Jamie Collins' penalty spot, that'll go up with a photograph in the club bar. That's the plan. And the spot from which Isaac Olafe scored the final goal on the 3G surface, the one that blasted the U's to the National League title, that's going to be kept. We're going to put that, I think, at some walkway somewhere. But the rest of it, the corner quadrants, the centre spot, the various parts where the ball crossed the line for this, that and the other, we're going to put online for an auction, which I know that you're organising. Thank you for that. Onto the actual physical work of the pitch itself. Well, fingers crossed, so far so good. They've already done anybody who's been looking at SUFC TV's live stream of the pitch refurbishment will see that there's already been an awful lot taking place in this regard. The surface is all up, been rolled up and taken away. They're now digging up the surface below the stonework and looking to get the preparation works in place. So we are extremely hopeful, particularly as a consequence of the early finish of the season, that we will be, fingers crossed, ready for the first EFL League game of the new season. Fixtures coming out in a few weeks' time. 7th of August is the first league game. It's possible that we may well request that first game is away from home to give us an extra week. But so far so good on the timetable. We're really impressed with AgriPower. We think we're going to have a first-class surface. Does of course mean, unfortunately, that a lot of our community activity on the pitch will have to be displaced because the number of hours that the pitch will be able to take going into the new season will be severely reduced from that which it is at the minute, and it will be first team use and the first team women's section, hopefully also once we've worked out the timetable, academy, elite, etc. But no training, and we've spent the summer looking already at alternative venues for training facilities for the first team and indeed for all the other teams in the club, and so far so good in that regard. So pitch. First project, major project, the biggest one of the lot, £500,000 worth of new kit going down, and hopefully everyone will love what they see.
Mm-hmm. Great stuff. And on Tuesday, the season tickets going on sale. How's that been?
Well, yeah, the season ticket sales, we've debated the structure of the season ticket policy long and hard, Phil. You can imagine this was a big one because our supporters have been nothing short of magnificent over this whole period. And I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for all that they've done for us in this period. And I know that also is reflected the first team squad and Matt and Jason and the rest of the management team as well. Just the support that they've received has been quite overwhelming. United We Stand initiatives, season ticket purchases, shareholdings, other donations to the club, just giving up their time, vice president's membership, and for not having received very much. And so when we were looking at the price structure for the new season, historically, of course, we've priced it very aggressively to ensure that we try and get as many people in here as possible to support our superb team. And we've tried to do the same again. And I think when you compare the price structure, it is extremely competitive and commensurate with our peers now in EFL2, at the lower end, as you would imagine in that regard. And I have obviously read an awful lot of commentary, mostly very positive about it, which I'm very pleased about. But there have also been one or two questions asked about, how we weren't able to have a slight differential for pre-existing season ticket holders and other supporters of the club. And that was one that we looked at long and hard. We came to the view in the end that actually the early bird price structure was one that we really wanted to attract and reach out to our core audience. And it was very difficult because we had such a truncated season last season. People were only able to come in on 2 or 3 occasions only. We wanted to ensure that we didn't leave anybody out in this regard. And of course, with season ticket holders, we had 750 season ticket holders last year, but there were a number who didn't renew last year, but did decide to contribute to the club in other ways, through United We Stand and other schemes. Strikers are key, as I say, shareholdings and vice presidents, other just basic club donations. And so that core family was quite a disparate one, and for us to have made a rule just for one element of it, we didn't think particularly fair in that regard. So we thought that the pricing structure with the early bird to reward our existing fan base and also obviously to attract hopefully some new fans was the way forward. And when you look at it, I think £279 for an adult in the early bird period, it's about £12 a game in the EFL. That's pretty strong, and 9 free games if everyone comes to every game. So we're also concentrating on the younger audience too, to make sure that we do appeal to the younger market, and £69 for teenagers and free still for 10 years and under. We hope it's one that's going to galvanise a lot of support. And so far, so good. 3 days in, 630 sales. So, spread that word. Let's get this place bouncing.
Amazing. Okay, that's good.
There are other projects as well that I just wanted to bring everyone up to speed with. 3 major ones. One of the floodlights. We're going to be replacing the floodlights, which you would have been anyway. Actually, we've engaged a company called Musco to do this. They provide the floodlight solutions for many Premier League clubs and EFL clubs. Currently our lux levels are around sort of 250 on the current lights, and the spread and spillage is not ideal. These ones are 500 lux, no spillage, hooded. The pitch will be illuminated, and it's going to be in a major way. It's going to be a very different environment from the lighting perspective next year, and they can also be turned down at various points, but 500 lux for EFL is the minimum requirement, and they'll be going in and they'll be ready in good time.
So we won't be in the referee's report for having a dark patch in the corner anymore.
No, and Rose's tea hut won't be illuminated anymore, I'm afraid. The other thing that we need to do is to ensure that our away fans are accommodated in seating wise as well. So there'll be a new grandstand inserted in the gap between the end of the turnstile at the Collingwood Road end and the blue cabin, which is currently a kind of sterile area. That's a 280-seater grandstand. We've engaged a company called Stadium Solutions to insert that for us, and again, that will be ready in time for the new season. And this morning, we've just finalised our turnstile solution too. We need to have automated turnstiles. Obviously, everything has to be. We need to ensure that we know how many people are in the ground at any given point in time, so it's a requirement that we have automated turnstiles. They're going to be lovely in amber and chocolate in colour. I thought that might be a nice idea, and we've just finalised the details of where they're going to go. There'll be new building works around that as well, and then brand new turnstiles going in on a scanner basis. And that was one of the reasons why we put on the note for the season ticket holders that people would just need to be a little bit patient with regards to the receipt of their season tickets this year, because the new season tickets will have to comply with the turnstile requirements. So the scanners as you're coming in, the barcodes, etc., will need to be reflected on the actual season ticket that we're giving you, in order to ensure that the entrance to the ground is facilitated and nice and easy and smooth, and as you would wish.
We should be getting our season tickets at some point in late July then.
I don't think a bit earlier than that, okay. But we don't worry. We've got everyone down. We've got a very robust system in that regard, and they'll be with you ASAP, and we'll keep everyone updated either through a piece to camera like this, albeit maybe not as long as this one, but also on the website as well. So that's something which will be coming very soon. And there are lots of other projects as well going on. In actual fact, I think we counted about 40 to 45 different projects which your board are managing in little subcommittees at the minute, and then we use our weekly meetings to bring everyone up to speed. So without wishing to labour the point, stuff like new kind of strengthened Wi-Fi. We had the guys down from EFL yesterday to work out a duct under the pitch to ensure that our broadcasting requirements are met. We've appointed a project manager, great guy called Alex, who's going to coordinate all these various different tasks between the officers at the club and make sure everything is done in timely fashion. Bobby Charles is running around here like a lunatic at the minute, and somehow keeping everything together, which is fantastic, but hopefully some of the weight will be taken off his shoulders with Alex being on board. And then of course we have other ground improvements. We need to ensure that we have enough office space here. We need to ramp up off the pitch in every which way you can imagine too, as our fabulous squad of players have done so on the pitch for us. So, gymnasiums, physio equipment, ground entrances, improved car park facilities, ground clearance in a lot of areas, levelling going on. So an immense amount of work, and I've had a lot of people, for which I'm extremely grateful, volunteering their services. And to be honest, many hands make light work. We're going to need to man the office pretty much all day, every day if we can, going forward. And we've got a great bunch of people who are volunteering that to man the office in the short term. But all hands there to the pump would be great. And if you've got time to come down, Bobby Charles and then Alex, who will be our project manager. I'm here a lot, Tim Allison is here a lot. There's a lot of us down here. There's always stuff that's needed to be done, even if it's kind of managing the car park, to be honest, with the heavy vehicles coming in and out. We've got people coming into the building all the time and just making sure that we know who they are and we know what they're doing, and we can help everyone in any which way we can. Even some of the streaming and help with making sure that the ground is spick and span and ready for us. So, if you can spare some time, we can certainly use that.
I'll second that. It's like Piccadilly Circus out there these days.
It really is. And then we've got other projects as well in terms of getting Sutton United brand out there. So we've got a couple of different schools projects to reach out and hit schools, other projects sales and marketing wise in the town itself. So much going on. It's such an exciting time, and I just wanted to give kind of 5 minutes to everybody just to let everybody know what we were doing behind the scenes, because we're working really hard. That on-pitch team has done us proud. We want to make sure the off-pitch team does us proud too.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Adrian, look, thanks for that. It's really useful, really informative, and I'll let you get on with the other 600 things you need to do this afternoon.
And we'll be back soon, forever Amber.
Cheers.